Alright, welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review, episode 294. We're here reviewing the newest episode of the series, which is episode number, if I can get to my thing here. Come on. I know you can do it. Thank you. Okay, here we go. The Crimson Skeleton of Mount Washio. Part 1, this is episode 1178, plus we're discussing the two newest chapters of the manga, 1151 and 1152. So, newest episode of the anime, it covers the entirety of chapter 1116 and the first 15 out of 18 pages for chapter 1117. So we have Kachet, Heiji, Conan, Ran, and Kanguro going up these big steps. Kanguro basically is getting exhausted a couple times because of so many steps and the fact he didn't get much sleep the previous night. And then they get close to the top when all of a sudden it starts raining. And then of course they take shelter in the temple, which of course the head priest has no problem with that at all. It's a Buddhist temple. It's like, excluding funerals and memorials, this is unusual, but it's perfectly fine. So it looks like the guys apparently took a quick shower to clean himself up. And then the girls, and of course, there's 4 brushes. So they do ask the months about the missing guy, who's missing now for a week. Yes, it's a very interesting start here. And then, so they mentioned that apparently he was put in the punishment room for smoking. Yep, smoking. The reason for this? So the guy says smoke, and so they punish him by locking him in a room for a certain period of time. I mean, there's 4 people at this temple. Why the heck would they basically have a punishment room for? It just doesn't make any sense. Just ask him, please don't smoke in the temple. Apparently he did, so they put him in a punishment room. And then he disappeared. He's disappeared for 5 days. So then Kanguro proceeds to, after using the bathroom, mention earlier it's a Western style bathroom, meaning it's basically US style. And then he sees a metal ball coming down the stairs near where the punishment room is. He goes inside, sees something, and then he soon screams, and then he disappears. We find later on he's actually locked in some room with a bunch of small Buddhist statues. So they do mention basically about, of course, they do find a dead body. Of course, everyone basically, when they get to the punishment, oh crap, it's a dead monk who they recognize. And it turns out, this is a monk missing for 5 days. So they do explain that there was a mysterious death at the temple where a guy was burned to death at the temple. And this death was caused by, prior to this, the guy had been basically like a researcher. And he did not like the statue in the temple. Not the big Buddha statue, personally, can't say anything about that. It's just other temple that's been there for about a few hundred years. He criticized it. It's it doesn't inspire him to pray. Okay. And then Heiji is this is actually nice, like a statue. And apparently they switch it out once a week. And between 3 of them. And apparently they say his last day for some reason. Not really sure what's going on here with that. So, by the way, Heiji is here at this temple to find a way to confess his feelings for Katcha, which he's been in love with her since they were kids. Also, Katcha is told by Ran that she and Sichi are dating. As a matter of fact, they've never been seen going on a date because Conan is Sichi. She doesn't know that. As of currently, she has not found out about that. She's suspected a couple times, but it's always something gets in the way. It's other stuff there. So then of course they look for her missing father, and then Conan gets a message from Kanguro about a statue, ending the episode. Quite interesting episode this one. It's lots of setup per se. It expected 1 of 3 monks may have killed him. Who it was, don't know. Really good episode. Next up, we have chapter 1151, which has the return of Masami Sarah. which this actually is the first time she's seen in the manga since chapter 1128. So it's been a while. I think like a year, maybe. Yeah. Which actually is just 2 cases after her last appearance in the series. Mm-hmm. So we start with her and her mom at a new hotel. And she's mentioned, oh yeah, I'm having tea with Rand. It's like, okay, you okay with your service? High tea, huh? Now only Japan not only has afternoon tea, but also full high English. Only has afternoon tea, but also English high tea. And she's got coffee is rather lingering. You sure isn't cold? Don't fuss. I'll show you I'm in top health. Really? You've been coughing since your debut. Kind of forgot her mom's name. Her mom's name is Mary. Yes, Mary. So, and she mentioned, oh yeah, when's the last time I saw her mom? Basically, was normal size. Like, she has stuffy nose too. And you see her ordering room service at the Zeon Hotel. And then, of course, she arrives, meet up with Ran and Sunako. And then we have a guy comment about her motorcycle. The tires need to be bald. Just released 0.3 inches, otherwise you could crash. I was going to change tires soon. I got this. I gotta take this. Must be the rookie. Yeah, and apparently, and we see this woman named Rina no more, who we actually found out she's a model. Yes. And of course, basically, the guy's like, remember filming before? Don't hit our friend. We just came hotel for tea. I'm serious, you look familiar. I'm a Takate. Remember coming home. Enjoy your tea. Do you know that journalist? Why are you going to feel it was a journalist? Really, Kun? How? From this conversation, he said, you got the headshot? Try to get more beta. Headshot is used by a person. Yep, journalism. Yep. And of course, they all have sweets because it's high tea. And then we see an actor who looks like he's under a mask, which they recognize he can take his mask off. And then we have 2 people talking about calculators. And then Renko comes to the shower wearing nothing but a towel. And then of course there's a scream. Oh, actually, it's a fire alarm. Yes, a fire alarm. Yep. Of the room. So, hey, like he's been there for 10 minutes. Yep, and they find him dead on the floor. His head's been bludgeoned. And the chapter ends with basically asking what's going on. An active politician. They're meeting somebody to talk about this number, and it's being circled. Interesting to say the least. Next up, basically, we have is chapter. By the way, the 1151 that was known as Blackmail photo. This chapter is called Dangerous Photos, which the calculator types out to looks like 50, 51, 107, 0. So my guess is it's probably, and this is what I'm looking at this, I think this is probably 505,110,070. It could be yen, who knows. And of course, I'm caught with a murder, and then of course they bring in Tagage McGuire, because of course they do. And of course, I have to explain anything to McGuire. The key card. We heard a scream fall and saw the body. Three of us. And then, of course, the other two, and of course, they explain. Of course, you see him, like, his head's been smashed, obviously with his face. He's grabbing onto the wheel of the chair. And, oh, with the blood thing, like, oh, the vase was on top of this. Looked like to be a hutch or a care cabinet. Chief suspect is Vinamura. By me. It's interesting you had the opportunity to set the face of a fall. When you into the room, Conan and me, you could have hid any proof. How dare you? Anyway, it could have been me or Conan on me when you were in the room. No, either you could have done it, huh? When we went into the room, Sarah and I went in the doorway. The door stayed open the whole time. We never checked behind it. Okay, what was behind it? So they look at this stuff here, and of course they chat for a while. The guy on the phone because of the sports thing, and of course, like, deleted it. Yeah. So interesting. So this guy may have been the photographer from the chapter when I think it was during the hotel bombing incident. Yes. I'm like, that is interesting. And I think, oh, it's upskirt photos, like, panties, like, she wears pants, she does not wear a skirt. How do you get pants? She never wore shorts outside of school. Yeah, the hotel bombing case is a reference here to that. Of course, like, calculator and of course, like, reservations and a tire. And look at, and of course, Conan and Sarah look at the three people. It's like, that's the murderer. It's like, she's looking at the first guy. He's looking at the woman. Who it could be? Well, we're going to find out about that next week. Yep. But great chapters. Love these ones. I give this one roughly a 10 out of 10. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. So, next up is going to be quite interesting because it's a topics video because basically there was stuff announced at New York Comic Con today. Talk about next, okay? Bye.